So I'd spent the last 6 months building my dream workshop during the winter, which I documented in all my previous videos. And now that dream workshop has been done, we now need that dream car. I've just bought what I believe to be one of the cheapest 944s you can get. Picked this car up for just £3,500, and after it sat in a barn for 10 years, I then thought it would be a good idea to drive it home, which was an absolute death trap. I almost got carbon monoxide poisoning, and one of the brakes fell off. So yeah. Shit. Shouldn't have done that. The sun's now out in the UK, and I want to enjoy this car on the roads. I think this car is really just lacking a bit of modern day spice. Once we get it lowered and on some nicer wheels, don't worry, I'm keeping it OEM plus. I'm not going to make it look all over the top. Could do. So yeah, mission, get this car ready for summer at a price less than your VW Polo and your Fiesta. Not dissing those two cars, by the way. I'm literally getting into one right now.
What are you doing?
Spending lots of money on a car that probably won't get me home. Anywho, here I am in a random car parking lot in Bristol. So from there, I've got an hour-and-a-half drive all the way to Winchester, but I haven't made it that far already.
I'm stuck at a petrol station in Cotswold, so I drove roughly 20 minutes. Apparently that's Jamie Clarkson's petrol station. I don't know. Apparently I've stopped here. The rear right brake is jammed on, so it's getting really hot and you can hear it getting louder and louder and damaging, and I don't want to cause any further damage than there already is there. So I decided just to cool brake down and hopefully get lifted. It's going to be a long run, that's for sure, but it's the best I can do really.
But then I remembered, I am breakdown. Okay, so it's approaching 4 o'clock and the breakdown people just told me they're going to be another 2 hours. So I've decided to take things into my own hands. I've taken off the caliper and I've realised that it's actually the caliper itself is seized onto the brake, which is getting it really hot. And so what I've done, Mum, block your ears if you listen to this. So I've basically, with mole grips, have flattened the brake line, as you can see here, to basically give the brake line pressure. And I'm going to take off the actual caliper itself. So I'm only going to be having 3 brakes on my car. Alright, that is now flat as a pancake, no fluids coming out of that. Right then, round 2, here we go. Alright, let's give it a go. Right, update, everything's going great. My heaters are on full blast, but as you can see, they've taken out the heater panel. So I have no control over the heat, and the windows don't open. And there's death wobble, like the steering wheel has insane death wobble. The brakes aren't great. The lights. So a couple hours later, in the Mad Max death trap, I finally made it back home after having to make multiple stops and driving with the door open, literally just to breathe. First things first, I went to go get the wheels aligned the very next day, because if the wheels aren't going straight, then that's what makes the steering wheel start to shake as they're going against each other. And then after that, got some new tyres on there, just so the car is actually driving safe. In terms of the actual body for this car, it's actually in really good nick to fair. Obviously it's had 2 paint jobs. The first one being in silver and the second one being in gold, I believe. So I went from gold to silver to now blue. It was stolen in the past, so probably something to do with that. As for the actual mechanics of the car, everything seems to be pretty good as it is, but it has been left for 10 years. So obviously a full service will be needed. All the belts will be replacing, for example, the cam belts. But anyway, as for the rest of the car, most of the other stuff is just, well, broken. 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 Yeah, I think it's broken. You get the idea. This car has not had a lot of love for a long time. Just needs a little bit of spice. So I've now shown you everything broken with the Porsche. It's time to actually get to work, so I'm really excited about. I've had this car for 2-3 months and I haven't done a single thing to it. I think the first job to tackle will be the brakes. These things obviously haven't been touched in ages and they're the main issue of the car, and as you know, brakes they're important. I've already taken off the rear ones because they're the worst. Now let's get on to the front ones. Alright, front wheels off and then see what's underneath there. So one thing I've noticed with the driver's side front caliper, you see this disc here has a lip on it, and this brake also sticks. You know it sticks because it doesn't turn, whereas, well, slightly does, but not great. And that will most likely be because the piston in here is stuck and does not release the brake as well. So as you can see in the diagram, as the fluid comes in behind the piston, it forces itself onto the brake. But the issue with my one is that there's too much corrosion for the actual piston to move backwards. So it's essentially just staying jammed on, which is not good. Whereas this one over here turns a lot more freely. You can see there is no lip on the edge. I'm going to rebuild this caliper as well. That means I will have to replace the other disc. Right now I'm just going to take out the pins so I can remove these brake pads out of the way. Because these brakes are so seized, I'm going to use the brake pedal by pushing it to force the fluid out, which will then in turn push the piston out, which saves me having to do it manually. This is a prime example of why I built this whole workshop. Oh my god, I don't even... Ugh. I mean, there is a slight leak going on, obviously. Not great, but other than that, a bit drier than out there. Now I've got these ugly things off the car, I can finally start to disassemble and then get them ready for paint, new pistons, yada yada yada. You can actually see within the barrel all this rust around the edge here has made it harder for this piston to actually move up and down freely. So when you're pushing the fluid out and the piston's coming out, it's not going back in how it should because it's getting stuck on all the rust and all the gunk around the edge. So here you can literally see all the rust build up, which is around that piston protector. And it's just an insane amount. There's like someone's left like a chocolate bar in there or something. Whoa! Jesus Christ. She's out. Oh my god. Oh, brake fluid everywhere. Ugh. I repeated the same for the other side and then started wire brushing down one of the main drums and very quickly realised that this was going to take ages, so I had to come up with a different solution. Using the wire bit on these brakes is going to take ages. There's so many little small gaps and places that I can't get into, and it's just going to take ages to get all of this off. I can't really be bothered. So to save a lot of time, I've bought 30 litres of rust remover, and I've tried out a little bit of it already over here. And it's actually doing some business, you know, it's doing some bits. I sat there for about 8 hours already and it's just fizzing away on the metal, so it's obviously doing something and it's taken off most of the rust. Hopefully by tomorrow morning I'll have some brand spanking new brake parts and then we can go ahead and start painting them. I've been walking around, trying to catch you with my eyes. There's no one in my heart, but I guess it's a sign. Easy conversation. Get a bit of your attention. I can feel love is real. Now try. If you're willing to just come along with me, we can feel no more lies. A simple dream of you and I. Simple dream of you. So you can literally sit eating away at the metal now, which is pretty satisfying. Hopefully this should do the trick and take it back to bare metal. Suspension ready for when the calipers go back on, because I want it to look car show level like. So I'm thinking removing the disc, respraying them. I don't think these actually need replacing, luckily. The lip's not too bad, but I think I'll respray them. And to give everything a shine up, everything's got a bit of layer of dirt on it. And it's gonna really clean. The green's gonna really pop out. And then on the edge, the whole bearing is actually in there. And then leaves the hub all greasy like that. That is the weirdest weird I've ever seen, ever. Maybe that's normal, maybe that's 80s, I don't know. This one here is looking a lot worse for wear than the other one, but I think this can be saved because I imagine this is a lot of money. I think it has to be perfect. Trim up the sides, give it a little respray. The other side's one's in a lot better shape. I think that's been repainted before. I'm actually really surprised about how small these hubs are. They're bloody tiny compared to cars these days. It's like a little spindle. Because this is pretty bust up, but I want to save it. I think it'll be fine. Cut off these ugly edges and we're good. I don't know, maybe that does need saving. It's like holy cheese. That's just been eaten alive. If you have been enjoying my content, it would really help out if you could subscribe and leave a like. Only 1% of the people that watch the content actually are, which baffles me. It would mean a lot, only takes a second. I got so much support on the last video and it means the world, so thank you all. Now if you want to be extra nice to the next person that owns your car, stick a little bit of copper grease on there. So I noticed a bit of rust and started to investigate with my most aggressive tool, which I highly regret because now I've just discovered a bunch of holes. It's one of those things, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Might need a little bit more than a small patch up. I don't think paint's gonna fix that, funny enough. Shit. Yeah, paint's finally here, so we can get cracking, get everything here painted. And once it's all dry, I can start to reassemble. I've gone for an acid green. I've seen it before on a Porsche 918 and I thought it just really popped. It looks so cool, especially with the blue. I know that Aston Martins also run it, but I think this would be a wise colour. That looks so cool.
It's been falling, I've been stalling for weeks. The stars are pretty when the sky falls. Won't you come outside? I'll get away, but I don't wanna fall. I'll flush my drinks down in the club. I always keep that shit on top. My piece fresh like a disco ball. I dance like I don't give a fuck. I'll flush my drinks down in the club. I always keep that shit on top. My piece fresh like a disco ball. I dance like I don't give a fuck. I don't know if it's me that you need. You miss me, though I don't pick up your call. It's been falling, I've been stalling for weeks. The stars are pretty when the sky falls. Won't you come outside? I'll get away, but I don't wanna fall. Get me past tonight. I'll be alright.
These are all the odd bits and bobs. I thought I'd just give them a respray because they look a bit faded and we'll give them a new lease of life and also a bit more protection.
Fresh like a disco ball. I dance like I don't give a fuck. Can you open up your mind? There's some more inside for you and me. Can you open up your mind? There's some more inside for you and me.
the start, I had to absolutely destroy that brake line just to be able to drive home. These are the new fresh ones going in now for both the rears.
Frequencies, heartbeat, destiny, lost in sound, we are free.
Alright, so now all the brakes are actually on the car. They look so good with this blue. This is exactly what's going for. The new Porsche, the new Porsche brake colour with this blue go hand in hand, I think. And just gives the car a little bit more pop because black brake calipers are boring. So now the next process is to actually bleed the brakes. So I've just made a little system out of a water bottle. So you see here, it just goes from the bleed nipple to the bottle with the fresh fluid. And then we can pump all the air out and eventually the fluid will come out. So obviously just got to fill up the reservoir right now with some fresh fluid. As I pump the brake pedal, this is just pushing all the brake fluid through the lines to the brake caliper, where then I can bleed it off and get all the air out the system. Bit tall in here. They do still feel a little bit squidgy, but I imagine that's just because the brake booster is not being powered yet by the engine. So once we start it, hopefully that will mean it's not squidgy, and if they are, it means they need more bleeding, which is annoying. Okay, so unfortunately they still feel really squidgy. I imagine there's still air in the system. It's going to keep on bleeding it and hopefully I'll get the rest of it out. Yeah, not great. Brake system is bled. The brakes seem to be working from what I can tell, I think, I hope. Yeah, now the real thing to do is the actual test. I put the seat in temporarily for now, but it is very rocky, so hopefully I don't die. Oh wait, I need to drop the car down first. Good start. Where's the bonnet? Done. Whatever. That doesn't work now. Oh, the handbrake's on. Really with it today. Oh, it sounds so good. Yeah, not great. Look at this interior though. Jesus Christ, the first. So unfortunately there's still too much air in the system, so the brakes are still soft. I need to rebleed them, but at this point, this was last year in November, I'm getting ready to leave the country for 6 months, going to France. So yeah, that's it for the car that winter. It is engine time. What I didn't know about this car, which I didn't even think, it didn't really cross my mind. So in here, you've got 2 cam belts. I believe it's 2 cam belts, I could be wrong, I think that's right, yeah. He is wrong. There's 1 timing belt and there's 1 balance shaft belt that run alongside each other. But you have 2 belts, and this is a interference engine. So essentially, if the belt tool was snapped, the timing belt plays a significant role in keeping the valves and the pistons in time. And if it snaps or moves to a different position, this happens. It's now the 20th of May, and I want to get this car ready and driving for the summer so I can actually enjoy it rather than just sitting in here doing piss all, really. Having this workshop, I really appreciate when you've got days like this. It's dark out there, it's a little bit rainy, windy, cold. And here, I've got a car lift. I've got lights, I've got warmth, I've got a nice floor, all my tools here. And then out there, so it's all grim. That's where I used to be. Very lucky, very happy as well. Just makes everything so much easier. And so now we've got to lock the crank. And by doing that, we're going to take out the starter motor. So, we got to go under.
You can see here, through the side of the engine, down the bell housing line, this is where you can see the flywheel. There'll be a line that needs to meet up there, saying OT. Now we're at top dead center.
So we can lock off both the cam and the crank. So when we go to put in the new belt, everything should fit nicely and the engine will be in time, which is what we need, because if it's not, then it's going to be catastrophic engine failure. So right now I'm just taking out the starter motor so I can put in the flywheel lock, so both parts of the engine will be in time and not move. Okay, that's the starter motor out. And this tool here just clips in the back of the flywheel teeth where the starter motor was, stopping the crank from moving, which is perfection. Those new green brakes, fresh. Alright, so we've got the dot at the front of the engine lined up. This is just for the camshaft down here. Next comes off the balance shaft belt. What the balance shaft actually does, which I was never aware of, was has a weight, essentially like a camshaft rod, and that in turn makes the engine vibrations lower when it's spinning, which I thought was really clever and I've never seen before. Next, the main timing belt is coming out, as well as the covers surrounding the water pump and the pulleys. That is actually coming off. I've been playing with that for a little bit. Jesus, that is so bad. Ticking time bomb. Okay, so now I've exposed where the water pump is because we're going to be replacing this as well. It's this whole section here. And then also, I was going to replace all these seals because that's where the oil is leaking. But if I'm real with you right now, I don't actually have £60 in my account to get the seals. So I can't do it. But it should be fine. I can always do it in the future if I need to. And now off comes the water pump. Oh, more water. Stop. Oh my god. Venison here now. Oh my god. Right, stop. Don't know why I only got one of those now. Oh god. Whoa, that's rusty. How old is that? I suppose it's been sat for 8 years of water just in it, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. The tsunami underneath here. Right, now we've got that one out. Ooh, nice and shiny. It's so satisfying comparing old parts and new parts. First things first, I'm getting that timing cover cleaned up because it was covered in oil. Then goes on the timing belt, making sure that it has been tensioned down properly, so if it's not, it could potentially slip and then cause the engine to self-destruct. Not good. And then the last belt to go on is that balance shaft belt. But then it takes a turn for the worse. So I just missed that because I was messing around, but it just started, but then I had like a crunching noise. So I'm praying that I haven't gone blowing up this engine. I just locked out. I've just blown the engine up, haven't I? Oh, bad. Now, if you're wondering why I look like I'm about to have a mental breakdown, it's probably because I am. Engine locking up is worst case scenario. When an engine is rotating, you have a belt which keeps the cam gears and the crank to stay in time with each other. However, if the belt does not keep in time, then what can happen is when the piston comes up, it can end up clashing with the valve as the valve hasn't gone back in time, and therefore blocking the path of the piston. Not good, as the average price for one of these is around £1,300. Right, it's time to work on the Porsche again. Last time I worked on this thing, I made a catastrophic mistake. I think the flywheel was about 1/2 of what it should have been. I double checked everything over, which is a shame. It's so annoying. It's really, really annoying. I thought I'd done everything right. I'm just praying there's no hole in the piston. I've got a bent valve, then we're all good, but if not, then I want to drive it. I need to get it fixed. I can't just have it sitting here all the time. I've got to face it. So the idea today is get the whole top end stripped off, all the manifolds off, whatever else has to come off, and see if I got away with it. I'm praying to God. I think it should be all right. There's just no way of telling until we get cracking.
What a useful tool.
That is literally like one of those tools that I use, honestly, probably like once a year, but then when I do use it, I really need it. Right, now all these bolts are out. Unfortunately, not all of them are able to get out because some of them are rusty, but most of them are. Now this manifold can come off, and then get the rest of the head off. Right, fine, stop saying right. Everything is stripped off the engine now. I'm ready to take off the head. I literally just dropped a bolt in the engine as well, down one of the oil holes. Cursed at the moment. But anywho, here we are. Take his head off, and then fingers crossed that I haven't shot myself in the foot. Well, I already have done that. It's amazing getting one tooth wrong on the timing gear led to all of this. No broken piston. No bent valves. What the what's that? Oh my God. Right, I can't see any damage to this up. That looks like a gasket which came off earlier. Found this in there. I think it's that. An old gasket, surely. So this engine might actually be savable. Hopefully, I haven't completely and utterly destroyed it with being bolts and God knows what else in it. It's just silly little mistakes like that can really cost you everything. But if the valves are fine and the pistons seem to look okay, I was going to go through, check everything, then could actually be all right with just replacing the gaskets, retiming it perfectly, and Bob's your uncle. But we'll just have to wait and see. Well, I figured it out and it's good news. So after doing some detective work, so like I showed you earlier, this was in one of the cylinder holes. I don't know what you call it, but whatever. It's like a piece of plastic, and I think this might be in the intake tube, possibly another one of my errors. Come on, we're just stacking up now. But from being in this piston, it's only left a tiny little mark on the top, no actual indentation or nothing on the cylinder walls. Yes, I've checked that as well. So that's all good. The next thing to check is if the head has any damage. You can see here on the head, also marking, but not actual indentation, just where it's scraped off the carbon on it. The same goes for here. So actually the head is fine as well. The valves aren't bent either, actually got away very lightly. But other than that, looks like we can just replace the head gaskets, get everything cleaned up, and then hopefully that should be it. You can put the whole engine back together, new gaskets, check everything over, make sure there's no plastic in there this time because obviously he doesn't like plastic. This head gasket, I don't think has been replaced in 40 years since the car was made, so it's really stuck on this head. Now ideally I would get the head re-skimmed, but I'm staying within budget, so I'm just going to have to sand it and just scrape off the rest. But I think it should work fine. These little cylinders that sit in the cam head are basically responsible for pushing down the valve when the cam pushes them. exhaust manifold off. These are those stubborn screws, so I put a nut on it and welded around the edge, and then hopefully this should pull it out. Right, finally I've taken off the gasket off the top of that head gasket, and Jesus Christ, just to give you a bit of reference between YouTube and reality, this is probably going to be like a 10-second time lapse. In fact, my phone actually turned off halfway through because it took so long. Just to take off this gasket here, which is all this stuff here, that took me 4 hours. 4 hours of the day just taking off the gasket. It's insane. That's money right there. That looks beautiful. Got some more stuff to change on it though, so it's not completely finished. Oh my god, the difference is insane. It's going to go into that filthy engine bay. It will be cleaned up more eventually, but yeah, it's going into this. So this is all going to have to be cleaned up at some point. I don't know when, but it's got to match that. Manifold also looking fresh. Crusty, it's literally holes in it. Probably held together. This is literally such a satisfying task. It's like when you take the new plastic off your iPhone or something. What's also very satisfying is the amount of support I've been getting from you guys. It's insane. Like, the comments are just lovely. You guys are all being so supportive and really interested in the build as well, which I really appreciate. It's amazing. But it took a lot for me to actually start this channel. I was really unsure whether to do it or not. Thought I might be judged quite a lot, but I thought wrong. Everyone's been brilliant. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far. And if you're new here, if you enjoy this sort of content, definitely subscribe. Got a lot more coming, some fun, weird builds, I don't know, we'll make it up as we go. Although I haven't made it far yet, I'm still really enjoying the process, and I think I'm going to keep at it. But yeah, no, once again, a massive thank you to everyone. Anyway, enough soppy shit, let's go back to this. Now putting the lifters back in, making sure they're all labelled and going the right holes again.
try to get this work. No, I'm gonna try to get this car done before work. You can already tell, can't you? But yeah, it's just on my mind last night. I just want to get it done and dusted. So hopefully, we've done 3 hours to try and do it, and I think that's possible. So start the clock.
Some new injector seals going in as the old ones were crusty. Q fail number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Okay, right, it's now 8:28 in the morning. Let's give this a go. Oh God, right. Basically what's happening there is I put this cam on the other day, forgot to set it in the right position, so I pushed one of the valves down into the head. It's obviously bent it, that's why it's over revving. So the head's got to come off again. It didn't make sense that it could be a valve though, because all 4 pistons had the same compression, so it must have been something else. I don't want to speak too soon. That might be it. That might. Give me a second. I just need to confirm. And from yesterday, the car ran perfectly fine. Ideally, it's going to start fine. If it starts fine today, put the engine back together, put the rest of the stuff back on the car, and then hopefully take it for a drive. But knowing my luck at the moment and how it's been going, anything could happen, so I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed and hope for the best. So of course. So I ended up moving the timing belt 1 tooth and made a lot of other adjustments, tuning the car for a whole day, and eventually it started to sound better. I didn't have one of the sensors plugged in. This is an emotional roller coaster. Right. Okay. And it's out. First time in 3 months. No, a month. Consistency is key. I don't think this engine bay's had a clean in the last 10 years since it's been sat in that barn. So here it is, a well-deserved wash. I think first things first will be to get out all the crap which is in there. Take out the seats, carpet, door cards, everything's got to go, everything's battered. I think doing interior is going to be quite lengthy. It's not going to be the easiest, and I've never done it before, but the fact that I've never done it before makes it more exciting, and I know it can be made really cool. As remember, we are trying to modernise this car, so a nice new head unit, good sound system, possibly even a leather interior. We'll have to look more into that. But yeah, I think the before and after will be the best part. It would seem the interior is already taking itself to pieces, and I've just found this on the floor. Yeah, old Porsches.
Let me
of the biggest issues is I noticed where the actual seat sits into has rusted out. That could have been pretty bad. Car came with a knife though, which is pretty cool. I'm now in the back of the Porsche, and this interior literally looks like a shanty town. It is just so higgled and piggled with cream and black. Nothing's really together. Everything just slightly is popped out or misconfigured or de-wired. Everything's got just a bit of a shake and missing a screw. So I suspect this interior was taken to pieces once, if not multiple times, and not really put back together properly.
I'm in charge, like a proton, undemocratic, not something you can vote on. Everywhere I go, I set the tone. Can't complain, I never moan. Can't have highs without the lows. I the prize, I'm hitting goals. I'm in the fold, I break the mold. I can't be told. I'm a dream that can't be sold. Yeah, I gotta run for it. No take, no give.
There's obviously a lot of wiring issues in this car, so to get to all of these dodgy electrics, I'm gonna have to take out this dashboard, which is the next job. Never done a dashboard before, but I don't think it'll be too hard. Considering the car's quite old, everything seems pretty basic. But yeah, get out the dashboard, get all these disgusting cracks out, and turn it to black rather than poo colour, because it's just hideous. Smells in here. Right. This is why I hate electrics. I'm trying to find a fuse for this window so I can get this switch working. So at the moment, obviously it just gasses out the car, it just gets really hot. I need the window to open, especially in the summer. I've made some discoveries though. I think I'm getting a little bit closer, but the way I'm basically doing it is trial and error, going through the whole interior and locating exactly where the wire goes to find it. I know that's probably not the right way, but I don't really know what else to do at this point. After going through all the cables in the door and all the way to the back here, I've located that the cable comes out to this relay here, which if you see here, the wire there is looking bad. So I think this is the relay which has gone bad. I've ordered a new one of those. I'll replace that and hopefully that should fix it. Now this lovely one-of-one dashboard is out, I can start to prepare it for paint. So I've got the dashboard all strapped up. I'm going to get the grinder out and just take out all these cuts, and then we plastic fill it. Then once that's all done, can paint it black and match everything up nicely. And now the satisfying part of getting rid of those ugly cracks with some plastic filler. Once the putty's dried, I can then sand it down, bridging the gap between the two sides of the crack so it's nice and smooth again. Cool, so now all the main sanding's been done, all the high spots have been taken down, and it's smoothed out this dashboard a lot. And then once that's done, degrease it, and then can finally paint it, and then put the dashboard in. It's going to tie in so much better with the rest of the car once it's black, because this brown is hideous. Right, so you probably noticed by now that I really don't like that brown.
I just wanna lose control.
Obviously, I forgot to press record for the rest of that time lapse. Really annoying because it would be really satisfying. But anyway, still looks great. It's not amazing, but it's a far lot better. Now, chances are, if you're watching this channel, you love a good project car. But more often than not, these project cars haven't run in a while. And most of the time, have a dead battery. Just like this one. Oh God, maybe a little bit more than a dead battery. Well, that's where Top Don's JS3000 jumper pack comes in. This small and portable jumper pack can offer up to 45 jump starts in one single charge. I've literally seen a video of someone start a tractor with it.
And that's lit them all up now. Boost is saying it's okay. Draw it.
The best part about the JS3000 is that I don't just have to use it for cars and things. I can use it on camping trips. I mean, I'm literally outside right now and I'm charging my laptop. I like to go camping a lot, so this is literally perfect. Yeah, there's not many power banks you can charge a laptop with, I'll tell you that. And oh, it's getting dark. Not anymore. It's literally daytime-ish and I can still light up the ground. It says here on Top Don's website that they don't only just make jumper packs. Top Don also have a wide range of diagnostic tools, from basic level OBD readers to top of the range. Thank you very much for sponsoring this video, Top Don. A link will be in the description down below. Quite a big problem with this car is that the exhaust gases actually go into the cabin when I'm driving. Now, obviously that's not safe whatsoever. If I could pass out while driving, which is, yeah, not ideal to be honest. Trying to work out where these gases actually come from is quite difficult. I've had a couple ideas. I've replaced the shifter boot. It's not on properly right now, but the original one was really cracked up. I thought it was that, but I realised it's actually coming from the blowers. And while we've got the dash off, I'm going to take out this blower. It's going to be a nightmare of a job. I can't really be bothered, but and again, can't really be bothered to pass out on the road.
I just wanna lose control.
The dashboard is now ready to go back in. First, I've got to sort out all the electrics in here. Unfortunately, I haven't actually managed to solve many of the electrical problems because I'll be honest, I actually hate electrics. They really confuse me. It's not really my strong forte, if that's even a thing. But the electrics, as you can see in there, just look like jumbo, and it's just something I just don't know yet, and I need to learn, but I'm just putting it off. Anyway, in goes the dash, which is something I do know. That's everything in the front of the car. Well, not the front of the car, the dashboard's now on. So I can start putting in all the other little bits and pieces. I did this like 6, 7 months ago, so I hope I remember everything went. I don't know if I do, but oh well. Already this interior is looking so much better. The black just makes it look so much cleaner than that brown that we had before. You can see some slight imperfections. This interior is quite old, a bit crippled in places. Why it came out the factory in brown, I don't know. It's my first time doing an interior. Putting it back together, I must say, was a lot harder. Taking it to pieces, getting all the cables right, slotting it all in, because it all sort of clicks in its own little place. But I did take the car to pieces about 7 months ago. So it's not surprising I don't remember what the hell was going on. So the next big important thing with this car is definitely a big safety factor for sure, and could be quite a big issue if not attended to, is that the seat doesn't even bolt in properly. As you can see here, the old mount, this is where the seat goes. It's supposed to look like that, but it's completely rusted out. So I'm lucky I took all this out. I mean, the whole floor's, it's not really rusty, it's just surface, so it's nothing major. But what I've done is I've made this plate when the bolt sits on the back, and then it literally just pops into there, and then I'm going to clean up this whole area and then weld this plate in, and then that will mean that the seat's safe to go back in. I mean, so it would go flying through the windscreen, you know, safety first and that. That is the last carpet I'm taking out. Pretty stripped in there. Once the dashboard's back in, all the carpets are out. Time to start deep cleaning these carpets, bring them back to colour. So this is one of the old seats. You can see it's got all the mould on it and it's been had years of use. That's probably all the bum sweat in there. Lovely. And then this seat here, I've just on the side bit here with the brush and the drill, and oh my god, it looks brand new. It's not even recognisable. Exactly what we're going for, but we're going to go over the whole seat tomorrow. And I'm also going to get a wet vac because this seat will get soaking wet, so I can suck out all the dirty water, which will be really satisfying. Bosh. Okay, so I'm now ready to deep clean these floor mats in the car. I'm gonna do an experiment with this piece here and do one side and see if it is that much of a difference. I've already done a tester with another piece and that is what has come out. I mean, oh, it's a couple of years of bum fluff in there. So I think I'm gonna do this side here and see how much nicer we can make it to look. Going in with the brush tool really helps get that dirt loose from the carpet so the wet vac can pick it up. Now I've always wanted to use one of these wet vacs. Ever since I see those videos on YouTube with millions of views of someone cleaning a carpet, it just looks so satisfying. Nighttime, daytime, nighttime, daytime. Yes, you can very much so see the difference here. That's looking all fresh and fluffy again. And this is all compact and just look at all the dirt in the edges, disgusting. Outside, that is all interior pieces done. All the carpet's been deep cleaned. This is what the water was looking like. That was through the whole carpet, so all that 40 years of filth is now out of the car. It's time to start reassembling the interior. First the sound deadening's going in, and then the fresh carpets. This is going to be super satisfying. My goal is for today is I want to get this car, the interior completely finished, because the weather is lovely today. It's 26 degrees. I haven't driven this car in 7 months. I just want to go drive it. Not the boot. I'm going to leave the boot out because that doesn't really matter. But everything else, I think, can get done and dusted. Yeah, let's go drive this car because it's a beautiful day and I don't want to waste it. And the insurance starts as well. I'll be honest, I didn't get the interior completely finished, but I just wanted to go out at this point. You can see this car hasn't been out in a very long time, but once I finish the drive, I'll come back and finish off that interior. Oh, please don't break. It is so hot. English people aren't used to this. It's not something we can do. Handbrake first. Oh, yes. Finally, man. It's been so long. Oh. Woo. Oh, she rips. What is that noise? It does rip. It does rip, I'll give it that. I keep forgetting what side of the road we're supposed to drive on. I've just left France. Right side. Woo! Oh, this is the weather for it as well. Nice to get out and about. Oh, some really bad noises going on. Anyway, back to the workshop to finish off this interior. This carpet thing here is supposed to go on the side here, but I just think that looks stupid. That reminds me of like in the 80s when you put carpets on the walls. I don't know whose idea that was. I'm not going to do that. I think it looks weird. You think I'm putting that steering wheel on? Absolutely no chance. That looks so much better.
Yeah.
Couple of problems to address with the Porsche before I start doing all those finishing touches with the paint and all the other fun parts. It will start sometimes, it's really weird. I thought it was an electrical issue, but like it will start sometimes. Is that spider? Oh wow. Where's that gone? Yeah, so it'll start sometimes, but then other times it won't. And when you try to sort of turn it over, it just smells like it's flooding itself. I think this is because of the injectors, because it's been sat for 10 years. I don't think they've actually been cleaned, which would make sense as to why it's flooding it. The injectors sit on top of the engine and are responsible for fueling it. If they become clogged with old fuel, which mine might have done after sitting for 10 years, then it can make the engine run really poorly. Unfortunately, I forgot to film all of that, but basically what I did is use a spray bottle, connected it to the injector with a battery which managed to open it up, and then spray the fluid through it, clean the injector, so then hopefully it doesn't get blocked open, flooding the car. This actually made a hell of a difference, but still didn't solve that issue. Next, I'm replacing that crusty fuel pump. So here's the old fuel pump. This thing is ancient. It's got a relic, so battered. Metal eaten away as well, really old. So I've had this one sitting in the workshop for a bit. Hopefully this new fuel pump makes sure the fuel is coming out at a constant. I just have a feeling that old one wasn't quite up to spec, and could definitely explain why the car sputters, cuts out and has trouble starting. And voila, a new fuel pump in, an easy, nice fix. Another thing I thought could be, because this battery connection is pretty rope, so I'm going to clean that all up, because a lot of the time it can just be a dodgy current, so possibly that, we'll have a look into it. It's normally the simplest of things sometimes. After taking it for a drive, after doing all those 3 things, the car stopped cutting out. I think the main problem, and the most simplest of them all, was that battery terminal. As soon as you have a slightly bad connection, it can really throw the whole car off. It's easy to get carried away and start trying to find big problems, but sometimes it can just be that basic loose screw. The finishing little touches on this Porsche, it's just the bodywork. Some things aren't actually put back together. So this video, that's what we're going to do. All the little button up pieces that hasn't been done on the outside. I'm going to polish the car, which should be really fun to be fair, because I've never polished a car before. I've only done little bits, but I think it's going to look day and night. Going to make the car absolutely glow. Pretty fun. Get to use my new power washer. Finally got one. I hear you guys in the comments. Get a power washer, get a power washer. Boom. So without further ado, let's give it a little scrub down. The paint colour on this car is a really cool dark blue, and it's actually only this colour because it got stolen and repainted. The only problem is it's not quite properly being caught. It's really hard to tell on camera, but the surface layer has a lot of dirt attached to it and minor scratches which prevent the true colour from coming out. So ideally I want this to look like a mirror. Car looks alright on this side, some parts are okay, but these other parts are pretty murky, so I'm going to start with the bonnet, because I think the bonnet will look the best. A lot of people can get really into it, and there's thousands of different products, so many different techniques, and like a good polish will take you like 3 days, I'm pretty sure, if you're really being serious about it, which I'm not. I don't really care too much. I'm just doing this for fun, and just a quick polish over should only take, and it's not going to be perfect, but I don't care. I just want to get it looking a bit more presentable. The first job that I'm doing is clay barring. Clay barring essentially just is a clay bar, as I just said, and it picks up all the dirt on the top of the clear coat. Basically like just giving it a proper scrub, getting all the mud out, all the dirt particles that stick to the clear coat. Paint is essentially like skin. The car skin, aka the paint, has 3 layers. You've got your primer, your base coat, then you've got your clear coat, which is the transparent one on top. And when that clear coat gets all scratched, that is when it starts to look really matte and not shiny. That's all the dirt I've just pulled out that top layer of paint. You can't really wash that off with the normal sponge, and you can literally hear it as well. Smooth. Gritty. Clay bar whole of this is then okay to put that sponge on. Now the whole clay barring process has been done, I can start to buff the pad, but you can really see how much that clay bar actually takes out of that paint.
All that dirt there removed from the bonnet, stuff a sponge would never pick up. Alright, now I'm going to apply the first coat, just going to dab it on gently.
Essentially what this is doing is just completely smoothing out the paint of that clear coat and taking out any imperfections. The smoother it is, the more clear. After that, wiping away the compound with a microfiber towel, and then you can reveal the new fresh paint again. The difference is day and night. It's such a satisfying process.
The other side. Big difference.
And now I'm going over the rest of the bonnet. Some places I have to go over twice just to get it perfect.
Time for the grand reveal. Yeah, wow. That is day and night. That's insane. It's like two different colours. All scratched, beaten up. Perfect.
And that is why I love polishing, because the difference before and after, just in that little bit of time doing that, is insane. Obviously I still haven't polished it yet, so it can get even shinier, but it's still just like
Mind-blowing what you can do.
just that. Right, now to finish off the rest of the bonnet and the whole front of the car, as well as the front wings. The idea with this car is I'm not trying to get it like really showroom perfect, because I don't really care about that too much. Like, I kind of like cars when they got a bit of scratches and dents on them and stuff, but just thought, why the paint's so faded, might as well try bring it like a little bit back to life, because it does look a lot nicer, that's for sure. You know, I'm not too fussed. I've crashed this car a couple of times, a couple of scratches everywhere. Thing with this car, I love it dearly. And I've had it for ages, and it's such a cool looking car, but it's just so unreliable. I've broken down like 6 or 7 times. And performance wise, this car actually lacks a lot of power. I think this car will be selling it after this polish, getting everything back together, is out of its graveyard, which is what the main purpose is for all these videos. Saving crap cars that I don't need to have. And onto some more fun, cheaper projects, I think. Just random ones are like 2-3 grand, random marketplace finds. And I want to go rally driving. I want to try and get a rally car. I think that would be sick. If I can go rally driving for like under 2-3 grand or whatever. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'd be happy. Oh, that never gets old. So satisfying. It's just like so smooth, liquid paint. I love it. Naughty. Forgot to film buffing the door, obviously, but on the same tape thing again. Onto the roof now. I think this would be the most satisfying of them all, just because this is probably the worst looking one out of all of them. So again, the same process as I did on the bonnet, clay bar the roof, and then I can begin to compound buff it, and then after that, wipe it all off, and again, it looks like a mirror. It really is such a rewarding job. Look at that transformation. Obviously the paint can't be properly fixed in some places, that's just damaged, but it's a hell of a lot better. And of course, if you like seeing transformations like this, then please subscribe. It helps a lot. I mean, I've hit 5,000 subscribers in 2 months, which is insane from the help from you guys, and it's able me to like work with other brands now as well, and get products from them or pay for other projects, which is insane. I didn't think after 5,000 subscribers I could do that much. Yeah, hope you enjoy the videos, and if you guys got any ideas of projects you want to see next or anything like that, let me know. I'm all ears. Anyway, top of the car is done, front of the car is done. Now I'm going to do the back arches just there, and then I think that should be good enough, I think. And then obviously the polish on top. I'm going to do the back of the car, but I don't think I have to do all of it because not all of the car is actually that bad. It's just sort of the high parts, like the roof, all the arches where water sits and sort of damages the paint a bit, or dust. Yeah, next is basically a polish, and I don't really know how the polish works different. I think it fills in any of the small scratches and just makes the paint a bit more shiny, because the compound before has got like a little, it's almost like toothpaste. This adds the shine, and I use a different buffing thing. It's like more of a furry one. So I'm gonna do that, see how much of a difference it makes. Really see too much of a difference with the polish, to be honest, but I'll do the whole bonnet. Maybe it'll look different, but already looks shiny enough as it is, I think. So do that, and then maybe polish the whole car, but can't really be bothered, to be honest. What's left to do with this is literally just exterior. So obviously paint's done, I'm gonna start to just recolor back in all the plastics and stuff using gels and whatever, but nothing like major actually. Oh shit, that is everywhere. And then we sort of just rub it in. You really do want to rub it in because this stuff is sticky. And then once it dries out, that should repair the colour back into the old rubbers. This is basically just resaturating the rubbers. It's been in the sun for so long. It's like giving a sponge water. Damn, it's looking really good. It's insane what that can do to it. Oh, looks brand new again. Right, get it outside, get some clips. Jesus, all those reflections now that were never there. Wow, this Porsche really has come a long way after being pulled out of a barn for sitting for 10 years to the way it looks now. Is incredible. Big turnaround, a lot of work, but I'm sad to see it go. And with the final finish, And with the final polish being done, that is the end of the Porsche build, unfortunately. Please like and subscribe, really helps. Really helps me out, and it's free, so there's no reason for you not to, unless you just hate the video. So yeah, ciao.